Shock drop! Yo, what's going on with ya, YouTube? Jumpman Chris, we're coming back at y'all with another vid. Alright. It finally happened. Okay, man. And it looked like, looked like a lot of W's out there, man. So, you know what? Nike, good job. They made up with that BS release with the unions. And I feel like they did a decent job with these. I mean, this is probably the best way they could have done it to fight against bots and that whole BS 2-hour draw EA, whatever they did with the unions. This was probably the best they've done it. I mean, I've seen tons and tons of W's. Matter of fact, I think there was more W's than there were L's, to be honest, on these shoes here, man. So, hey, if you guys watched yesterday's video, I tried to give you guys a heads up. I thought it was going to end up being EA. It looked like it just ended up being like some type of scratch and sniff, it looks like. But hey, whatever happened, it happened. It just, luckily, people was able to get that W. Let's go. First things first, man. We'll talk about earlier today. So the first releases with the Jackies, the Sabrinas, and the Alma 3s. I went for the Alma Year 3s, just trying to like, you know what? I'll go for my size. I haven't, you know, I was waiting for these because I didn't want to get on the Alma Year site because I probably would have got the, you know, the sneakers that have dropped first beforehand. So I was like, and plus you don't have to pay the crazy shipping and all that crazy stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead, wait for sneakers. I ended up taking L on the Alma 3s. I was kind of like, what is going on here? I thought nobody wanted these. I thought this was going to be easy cop. So that was really surprising. Very limited on the Alma 3s. I think it was less than like 12,000 stock numbers or something like that. You know, hey, it is what it is. Even with that little of a stock numbers, still I thought it was still going to be pretty easy. Like, I thought it was like nobody wanted them. So, hey, it is what it is. Good to see them selling out and all that good stuff. But, hey, so let's get into this one here, all right? So, they did finally end up dropping at 2 p.m. Eastern time on the Sneakers app. But it was a different type of release. So, it wasn't EA, like a lot of us thought it was. Like, you know, we kind of thought it was going to be like a union drop or something. It wasn't. It was a scratch and sniff, but it turned into a link. So in order to get to the link, you had to go onto the IG of Eric Costin on his IG, and he posted this right here. Available now, get them before they're gone. Shock drop. You know, Eric Costin puts that up, and then they showed a whole, it was like a link drop. So you couldn't just find it on your Sneakers app, because I was looking, where's EA? You know, I was hearing the news, it was 2 p.m. Hey, shout out to my guy Nicky B23 for all the info. I appreciate you, fam. So, anyways, got through. It wasn't that easy though. Alright, so when you showed up this, it showed like a little video with Eric Costin on here and all that. If you scroll down a little bit, you finally get to this blurry picture. It says Sneakers link SB4. It was a scratchy scratch, all right? That, you know, guys, you know when I say scratch and stuff, it's a joke. You know, come on, guys. It's a scratch off, and then like if I told you guys beforehand, look, don't scratch them. You don't have to clean the freaking whole pic, okay? The picture, guys. You can just go just a little bit. This is how much I actually showed it, and it finally popped up. So then when it popped up, I got this little like video thing going on, and it showed, you know, him skating and stuff. You can skip the video and then enter in. Now I had a problem entering these things at first. Like, for some reason I kept getting problem processing your payment, check payment info. I'm like, what's going on? I've used this credit card all the time. I don't know why we're having problems right now. Of course, when it's a hype drop like this, they're gonna give me problems. So I kept getting problems. I sent a link over to wifey's phone and everything too as well, because once I got the link, then, you know, I sent it to wifey and everything. So again, finally she got through and scratch and sniff and everything, but hers, on her account, got through just fine. I finally got through. I went through what is it, Apple Pay. I finally just said screw it. I went through Apple Pay on my phone. Then I got the pending on a size 9.5. I was pinning for a good minute, guys. I was pinning for a good minute on this one, and it wasn't looking good. So a lot of the sizes, like the bigger sizes, sold fairly quickly, but the smaller sizes did end up sitting. So if you were like a smaller size, like size 8 to like a 9, I think it would have been pretty easy. But the bigger sizes, like 10.5 to like 13, 14, pretty much gone instantly. Matter of fact, there might be, as I'm making this, filming this now, they might still be sitting on certain size, like a size 4 or 5. Anyways, wifey did end up getting a W on her phone, so I was very happy about that. Got the W right there. Bam, bam. Told wifey get the little screenshot right there. All right, check it out, check it out. Got an email and everything, so we're good to go. And my account was still pending forever. It was just pending forever for whatever reason. And eventually I got the didn't get them. So luckily, if wifey didn't end up hitting for me, then I would have took a L. But yeah, this is by the time I try to come back in and get go back to get like another size. This was their only size they had left at that time. I'm pretty sure probably like a size 3 and 5 are probably still available. I don't know. I mean, or even an 8 even. So again, I mean, they must have had tons and tons of pairs. So we did hear rumors of 160K stocks. If you guys watched my yesterday video, I said that was probably worldwide in how much they distribute. I mean, they doubled the amount of stocks that they did with the pine greens. Mind you, they were only at like skate shops. I only saw one tier 0 store that got them, which was Trophy Room, and then it was Sneakers. Sneakers had majority of the stock on these, all right? I think finally, after this whole year in 2025, Sneakers app finally came through. It was actually the W right here. So, hey man, congrats to everyone that got W's. This was probably the best case scenarios. Every time there's a scratch and sniff or something like that, I always feel like that's usually the best way. I think the last time we had something like this was the Powerpuff Girls. I think the SBs, those. I remember that was a scratch and sniff. Can't remember if anything else was a scratch and sniff, but yeah, I think that was probably, this is the best way to fight against bots. You know, you can't just, you know, the way how bots runs is like they just, you know, especially if it's a draw, they just enter as many accounts as possible, and eventually, it's like a numbers game, so eventually 1 or 2 account might hit, just saying. But yeah, that's, you know, and if you do the scratch and sniff, I mean, you have to manually use your finger on the screen. So this is, yeah, again, this is probably the best case scenario. I've seen a lot, like I said, I've seen a lot of W's, man. So I'm happy for everybody, man. Congrats to everyone. You know, this is, I know some people took L's all year. This might have been their first W on a nice drop or a good drop on the Sneakers app. That 160 might be true, but like I said, that's distribute all throughout the entire world in all the stores. Not as many on the Sneakers app. From what I was hearing, there were about maybe 50K stock numbers on the Sneakers app. Again, that's a lot. Like, that's a good amount, especially if you're doing it this type of drop to where it's like no bots could have got in. Like, this was mainly manual users only. So, hey, man, I say we do this on every drop, to be honest. And look, so this was like I think this was some type of a shock drop in a way. I mean, we all kind of like, I mean, a lot of people did say it was going to be happening on April, what's today, 15th, tax day, by the way. So, but yeah, so everyone saw that happening, and I know a lot of people were saying yesterday, it's not gonna happen, like, look, man, look, when I tell you guys this news, I'm not trying to gatekeep or, you know, I just tell you guys what I'm hearing. You know, sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. You know, I think I'm right more than wrong, but I just try to help you guys out as best as possible. You know, you guys already know, guys, I don't charge you guys no Discord. I don't charge you guys no membership. Everything is free to watch. All right, all you guys do is click support, and I appreciate y'all. That's all it is, guys. You know, I just want to help you guys out as best as possible, as best as my ability. All right, again, I know sometimes I'm wrong every now and then, because this is the information I'm hearing from other people. I'm not making up any of the information. I'm just hearing what other people else is hearing, and that's what's kind of floating around. Try to make content about, let you guys know, so you guys get, you know, be prepared. And if it don't drop, then I'm like, oh, my bad, you don't have to spend no money today. But I mean, I think a lot of people saw it because they were loaded up on like Asia and, you know, Europe and stuff like that. So once that usually does happen, then it's like, okay, then if US haven't got loaded up, that usually means that we're probably gonna get some type of shock drop or something. Same thing happened with the unions. It was loaded up in Asia and Europe and all that stuff on that date. Wasn't loaded up on the US. It's a hype drop. What's going on? What does Nike end up doing? Because they know majority of the stock and all the hype is going to happen in the US. they're gonna do some type of like EA or shock drop, scratch and sniff or something, you know, whatever Nike decide to end up doing. But hey, this way, not bad. I thought I think it was supposed to be EA, but I think they changed it at the last minute, or maybe this was their plan the whole time. No. But anyways, man, I feel like they did a pretty good job. I seen a lot of W's. There's not much more you can really ask. You know, I'm sure there's some people that did end up taking L's. Sorry, guys. You know, at least the resale price ain't going that crazy. But hey. Anyway, guys, just want to make this quick video, guys, man. Just want to say I appreciate every single one of you guys, man, that always show support. If I did end up helping you guys out, comment down below. You know, you guys already know, man. I appreciate y'all. All right. Anyway, guys, hey, just want to say, guys, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. If you guys don't mind, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Comment down below, and please hit that bell for all the notifications when I do drop vids. And don't forget to follow me on my social media at Chris on IG, so on Twitter, and don't forget Snapchat. And I'm also on TikTok. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'm Chris. Peace.